Petra is nestled in a rugged basin on the eastern flank of the Dead Sea Rift Valley, surrounded by towering cliffs of Cambrian and Ordovician sandstone. Tectonic movements from the rift system shaped the terrain, creating natural fissures and gullies that channeled water. The region has a semi-arid climate with sporadic rainfall that often triggers flash floods. Despite the arid conditions, over 200 plant species thrive in the area, including Sahara-Arabian desert shrubs and Mediterranean woodland remnants near springs. The Nabataeans engineered an intricate system of dams, cisterns, and terraces to capture and store precious water, transforming a harsh desert into a thriving oasis and trade hub. Machu Picchu is situated on a narrow ridge between two peaks at 2,430 meters above sea level, overlooking a U-shaped bend of the Urubamba River. The site is built on granite bedrock from the Vilcabamba batholith, formed by ancient intrusive igneous activity. It lies within the Yungas cloud forest, a transitional ecosystem between the high Andes and the Amazon basin. The climate is warm and humid, with mist frequently shrouding the ruins and supporting a rich biodiversity of orchids, ferns, and endemic bird species. The Inca selected this location for its sacred geography, aligning the citadel with celestial events and mountain deities. Angkor Wat lies on a sandy alluvial substrate in the floodplain north of Tunley Sap Lake, fed by the Siem Reap River. The region experiences a tropical monsoon climate with distinct wet and dry seasons. The Khmer engineered a vast hydraulic network of reservoirs, barriers, canals, and moats to capture seasonal rains and distribute water year-round. This complex system supported intensive rice cultivation and sustained a population of nearly 1 million. However, prolonged droughts followed by extreme monsoons in the 14th century overwhelmed the infrastructure, contributing to the empire's decline. Timbuktu is situated on the southern edge of the Sahara Desert, approximately 15 kilometers north of the main channel of the Niger River. The city lies in the Sahelian transition zone, where the Great Desert meets the savanna. The climate is extremely arid, with scorching temperatures and minimal rainfall. The Niger River, however, creates a seasonal inland delta that floods during the wet season, providing a lifeline for agriculture and transport. The surrounding landscape is dominated by sand dunes and rocky plains, with the river serving as a vital artery for trade and subsistence. Mohenjo-Daro is located in the semi-arid region of Sindh, perched on a Pleistocene ridge that rises like an island above the Indus River floodplain. The site sits between the Indus River to the west and the ancient Gagahakra River system to the east. The climate is hot and dry, with monsoon rains concentrated in the summer months. The surrounding alluvial plains are fertile, supporting agriculture through an extensive canal network. The city's sophisticated urban planning, with streets oriented to cardinal points and an advanced drainage system, demonstrates a remarkable understanding of hydrology and sanitation. Great Zimbabwe sits on the Zimbabwe Plateau between the Zambezi and Limpopo rivers, a region of granite batholiths and conical hills. The underlying granite, formed over billions of years, weathers into distinctive whaleback formations and provides abundant building stone. The climate is subtropical, with Miombo woodlands covering the plateau and supporting diverse wildlife, including elephants and antelopes. The granite bedrock also serves as a natural aquifer, storing water that ancient inhabitants accessed through carefully engineered systems. The site's dry stone walls, built without mortar, blend seamlessly with the rocky landscape. Palenque is nestled in the high tropical rainforest of northeastern Chiapas at just 60 meters above sea level. The region has a warm, humid, and rainy climate, with average temperatures of 27 degrees Celsius and annual rainfall exceeding 2,160 millimeters. The landscape is carved by numerous rivers and waterfalls, creating a lush environment rich in biodiversity, including howler monkeys and exotic birds. The Maya constructed one of the most intricate water management systems in the lowlands, channeling springs and rainwater through aqueducts and subterranean passages, allowing the city to flourish in the heart of the jungle. Sigiriya is a massive column of hardened magma from an extinct volcano, rising abruptly 200 meters above the surrounding dry zone plains of central Sri Lanka. The shear-sided plateau, composed of highland and Wani complex rock types, is a geological marvel with reddish-orange walls. The area experiences a tropical monsoon climate, with a distinct dry season. The summit plateau covers approximately 1.6 hectares and offers commanding views across the forested landscape. In the 5th century CE, King Kashyapa transformed this natural fortress into a sophisticated palace complex, integrating architecture with existing boulders and creating gravity-fed water gardens that still function today. Göbekli Tepe is situated on a flat limestone plateau in the Jermis mountain range of southeastern Anatolia, at an elevation of approximately 770 meters. The site lies in Upper Mesopotamia, between the Euphrates and Tigris rivers, in the foothills of the Taurus Mountains. The natural limestone bedrock forms the foundation for an artificial mound, tell, that accumulated over millennia. The region has a continental climate with hot, dry summers and cold winters. During the Neolithic period, the environment was more wooded and wetter than today, supporting abundant game that attracted hunter-gatherers to build monumental T-shaped pillars weighing up to 20 tons. Thebes lay on both sides of the Nile River in Upper Egypt, approximately 800 kilometers south of the Mediterranean. The city was built on the alluvial plains of the Nile Valley, with the river providing water and fertile soil through annual floods. The western bank is dominated by the Thebes Limestone Formation, a prominent Eocene limestone cliff that contains the Valley of the Kings and numerous royal tombs. The climate is hyperarid, with virtually no rainfall, and the Nile is the sole source of water. The fertile floodplain supported intensive agriculture, while the limestone cliffs provided abundant building material for temples and tombs. Mycenae occupies a low limestone hill at the northeastern edge of the Argive Plain in the Peloponnese, rising 278 meters above sea level. The hill is composed of Triassic to Jurassic limestone, the same rock that forms the surrounding mountains. The region is tectonically active, with fault lines and erosion shaping the landscape. The climate is Mediterranean, with mild, wet winters and hot, dry summers. Flanked by ravines and mountains, the site was a natural fortress, controlling the route from the Peloponnese to central Greece. The Mycenaeans quarried the local limestone to build massive cyclopean walls, with blocks weighing several tons. Borobudur is located in the Kedu Plain of central Java, built on a bedrock hill 265 meters above sea level. The site lies in a basin surrounded by active volcanoes, including Mount Merapi, Mount Merbabu, and Mount Sumbing. The region has a tropical climate with heavy rainfall exceeding 2,000 millimeters per year. The monument was constructed from dark grey volcanic stone, quarried from nearby rivers. Evidence suggests that Borobudur may have once stood beside or on the shore of an ancient lake, which later dried out. The volcanic soil of the Kedu Plain is highly fertile, supporting intensive rice cultivation. Persepolis is situated in the Marv-dashed plain of the Fars province, on the high Iranian plateau at the foot of the Kuir Ramat, Mountain of Mercy. The plain is an alluvial basin formed by sediments from surrounding mountains, with karstic limestone aquifers providing water. The climate is characterized by hot, dry summers and cold winters, with most precipitation falling in spring and winter. The region was once wetter, with more abundant surface water resources. The Achaemenids chose this location for its strategic position, fertile soils, and access to water, building an elaborate terrace complex that showcased their imperial power. Carthage is located on the eastern side of the Gulf of Tunis, on a peninsula that juts into the Mediterranean Sea. The site is built on a late Pleistocene calcarenite bedrock, a type of limestone formed from coastal dunes. The city enjoyed a Mediterranean climate with hot, dry summers and mild, wet winters. The peninsula provided natural harbors on both sides, including the famous Kotan, an artificial military harbor. The location offered strategic control over sea routes between the eastern and western Mediterranean, while the surrounding fertile plains supported agriculture and sustained a large population. Aksum is located in the northern Ethiopian highlands at an elevation of approximately 2,200 meters, on a fertile plain surrounded by mountains. The region's geology is diverse, with volcanic rocks, granite, and deep river gorges shaped by tectonic activity. The climate is characterized by a pronounced wet season, with abundant rainfall that supported terrace agriculture and forests. The city benefited from nearby granite quarries, which provided the material for its famous obelisks and monumental architecture. The Aksumite kingdom controlled trade routes to the Red Sea, and its prosperity was underpinned by the region's agricultural productivity. Vijayanagara lies on the southern bank of the Tungabhadra River in the Karnataka region of South India. The site is characterized by a dramatic landscape of ancient granite boulders and hills, some of the oldest exposed surfaces on Earth, formed over 3 billion years ago. The region has a semi-arid climate, with most of the annual rainfall, around 500 millimeters, occurring during the southwest monsoon. The Tungabhadra River provided a reliable water supply, while the granite outcrops offered natural fortifications. The Vijayanagara rulers integrated the boulders into their architecture, creating a city that blended seamlessly with its geological surroundings. Tikal is located in the northern Petén region of Guatemala, deep within a tropical rainforest that is part of the Maya Biosphere Reserve. The site sits on a sedimentary basin of limestone and dolomite, with karst formations typical of the Yucatan Peninsula. The climate is warm and humid, with annual rainfall of up to 2,000 millimeters and a distinct dry season. The city had no rivers or springs, so the Maya relied entirely on rainwater, collected in giant underground cisterns, chaltens. The limestone bedrock provided building material for the city's towering pyramids, while the surrounding forest supplied food, medicine, and materials. Chan Chan is located on the arid coastal plain of northern Peru, at the mouth of the Moche Valley, just 5 kilometers from the Pacific Ocean. The region is one of the world's driest deserts, with average annual rainfall of less than 1/10 of an inch. The city was built entirely from adobe, mud brick, using clay from the river valley. The Moche and Chiquema rivers, carrying runoff from the Andes, provided the only source of fresh water. The Chimu constructed an extensive network of canals and wells, some over 80 kilometers long, to irrigate fields and sustain a population of up to 40,000. Jerash lies on a fertile plain surrounded by hilly, wooded areas in the northern highlands of Jordan, approximately 30 miles north of Amman. The city is built on a basin with Mediterranean semi-arid climate, receiving over 500 millimeters of annual rainfall. The region is characterized by limestone hills, fertile red Mediterranean soils, and perennial springs that provided a reliable water supply. The surrounding landscape supports pine and evergreen oak forests. The city's location in a well-watered valley made it a prosperous agricultural center and a key stop on trade routes, allowing it to become one of the great cities of the Roman Decapolis.